For 300 years, the Targaryens looked east toward the ruins of Valyria, but Aegon, the first of his name, looked west. On the painted table at Dragonstone, he saw a land without borders, 7 kingdoms that spent more time bleeding each other than building themselves. Aegon was not a man of many words. He didn't need them. He had his sisters Visenya and Rhaenys, and he had the last of the dragons. When the ravens flew from Dragonstone, they carried a message that chilled every throne room from the wall to the summer sea. There will be only one king in Westeros. He didn't ask for land, he asked for total submission. Those who knelt would keep their honors. Those who took up arms would be uprooted, branch and root. The first to test Aegon's resolve was Harren the Black of House Hoare. Harren was a tyrant who had spent 40 years building the largest fortress in history. He believed stone could not burn. When Aegon offered him peace in exchange for fealty, Harren laughed. He retreated behind his impregnable walls, confident that no army could breach them. But Aegon didn't bring an army to the gates. He took Balerion the Black Dread into the clouds higher than any arrow could reach and descended like a falling star. The heat was so intense that the stone of Harrenhal began to glow, then crack, then run like wax. King Harren and his sons died in their own halls, and House Hoare was extinguished in a single night. To reward the lords who had rebelled against Harren's tyranny, Aegon named Edmund Tully of Riverrun as the Lord Paramount of the Trident. In the Stormlands, Argilac the Arrogant of House Durrandon chose to die on his feet. He met Aegon's commander Orys Baratheon in a hurricane of a battle. Argilac was a warrior of legend, but Orys cut him down in single combat. To honor his fallen foe, Orys took the Durrandon castle, their daughter, and their words. Ours is the fury. Thus House Baratheon was born, but the greatest challenge lay in the reach. King Mern of House Gardner and King Loren of House Lannister joined forces. 55,000 men against Aegon's few thousand. It should have been a slaughter. It was, but not for the Targaryens. This was the Field of Fire, the only time in history all 3 dragons, Balerion, Vhagar, and Meraxes, hunted together. 4,000 men burned to ash in minutes. King Mern died, and with him the House of Gardner. The Tyrells, the king's stewards, wisely surrendered Highgarden to Aegon. In return, they were raised from servants to the Lords Paramount of the Reach. The news of the Field of Fire traveled fast. In the west, Loren Lannister emerged from the smoke, knelt and was named Warden of the West. In the north, Torrhen Stark marched with 30,000 Northmen, ready to defend his crown. But when he saw the dragons and the ruins of the south, he saw the death of his people. He crossed the Trident alone, knelt before Aegon, and laid down the crown of winter. He rose as a lord, but he saved every life in his army. In the Vale, the Arryns thought they were safe in the Eyrie, high above the world. But Queen Visenya simply flew Vhagar onto the castle balcony. When the Queen Regent arrived, she found her young son sitting on the dragon's lap, asking for a ride. The message was clear. No wall is high enough to stop a dragon. The Arryns knelt, and the Vale was added to the realm. 6 kingdoms had fallen. Only Dorne remained. Princess Miriah Martell was 80 years old and blind, but she saw the Targaryens better than anyone. When Rhaenys flew to Sunspear, Miriah gave her a warning. I will not fight you, but I will not kneel to you. Dorne has no king. What followed was 9 years of hell. The Dornish didn't fight battles, they fought an insurgency. They burned their own crops and vanished into the desert. In 10 AC, the ultimate tragedy struck. At Hellholt, a Dornish scorpion bolt found the eye of Meraxes. The dragon fell from the sky, and Queen Rhaenys, Aegon's most beloved, was never seen again. Aegon and Visenya's grief turned to madness. For 2 years, they burned every castle in Dorne, but the Dornish only grew more defiant. Finally, a mysterious letter arrived from Prince Nymor Martell. Aegon read it, his hand bleeding as he gripped the Iron Throne, and he stopped the war. To this day, we don't know what the letter said, but Dorne remained independent, unbowed, unbent, unbroken. Aegon the Conqueror didn't just change the map. He changed the soul of the continent. He gathered the swords of his fallen enemies, thousands of them, and had Balerion forge them into a seat of power. The Iron Throne was not a comfortable chair. It was a reminder that a king should never sit easy. He had come as a foreigner with 3 dragons. He died as the father of a nation. 7 kingdoms had become one realm, and though he never conquered the sands of Dorne, he had forged a legacy that would endure for 3 centuries. This was the beginning of the Targaryen dynasty,